You should have been here. I'm telling you, this is a book signing like no other, unless they do it, you know, one of the major shows. This is how they do it.
This is
so.
a book signing hosted by Loretta McNary, so you know, no one can top this.
Oh my goodness, I gotta get you a check, girl. At the very least, tell me about this publisher so I can get some of those books published. So
that's a done deal.
That's a done
I'll tell
deal.
you all about my publisher.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk all about the publisher. So tell me, when you wrote the book, what was the next step for that? After you completed it, how did you feel, and what did you do next?
After I completed it, I shot it to a few people to read. I wanted to get some feedback, see if I had something worth working with. And one of the people is actually my publisher, River House Publishing, Latrivia Nelson. And she was like, I love it. I want you to join the River House family. So I became a new member of her family of authors. I'm the second, well actually 3 if you count herself. So it's a lot of people have had a hard time finding a publisher, but I was blessed to find somebody who's been doing this for a while now, has put out several books herself. Okay. So she helped walk me through this process. So it's been fairly easy getting the book actually published. Had a few glitches along the way, but we're working them out. First one, so we'll do better than next time.
All right, it'll flow a lot easier. Second is always better, as they say, unless it's a marriage. I don't know. We'll talk about that another time. I know. I just never know what I'm going to say. This is crazy. But anyway, getting back to the book writing part of it. So when she said, "Okay, we're ready. Let's go to print," how did you feel again?
I was like, so people are actually going to read what I have to say and my thoughts, but it worked out well. A lot of people said my thoughts were in tune with theirs, because a lot of times we give our characters attributes that we wish we had. So I made T just this wonderful person, left out the flaws that I may have and turned her into a beautiful, intelligent, goal-oriented, hard-working person. And not that I'm not all of those things.
I was going to say, okay, you are.
But she's extremely strong in her faith, and that is something that along with I know a whole bunch of other people can work on. And she's celibate, and she refuses to compromise. She refuses to engage in relations before she gets married again, and that's a large part of the story, and her going through her dating process and the men that she's dated and some of the issues that she has with those that can't handle that.
Yeah, and you wrote it like you were speaking to so many women who had spoken these words before that men don't understand, and then she meets this guy and afraid again of, should I continue on my road? And I'm not going to tell a lot of the book, but you always have to get to that crossroad and decide, am I going to continue to honor my faith, or am I going to really try and see if this man will stay with me if I go ahead and give in? So
yeah, and you never know what's going to happen, but you have to find somebody that is on the same road that you are, because if you don't, there's no way you'll make it.
Yeah.
So because you may not always be strong. You might need somebody to back up some nights and say, you know what, I think I should go home now.
Yeah, and then he'll be like, I think you're right. I think that is so cute. I'll be asking, you marry me, baby. You marry me. So I do. It could be a movie or a sitcom, and it's definitely some scenes in here where I could personally relate to. I'm like, did this girl read my mind and my diary? Because some of this was so unique to my story. But you do have to, set your own goals and live your own life. And her sister was, a little different and married and had her own issues. And I like how you tied that in together and included friends and job issues and people on the job. So she had a full life. It wasn't just, this book didn't take place in just one place at one time. You encapsulized her entire life, like going to work, going home, getting called in the middle of the night. So I say, bravo.
Thank you. One of the things that I wanted to do, T is going through something that I've labeled the someday factor, which is you're 30, she was 30, but women who are 30 plus, and they are still wondering when that wonderful man is going to come along. And they're still hopeful it's going to happen someday. Yeah. But in the meantime, I need our young ladies to focus on what is going right right in our lives. We sometimes can get so caught up in what's going wrong, and we begin to take the wonderful things for granted, like the fact that we're healthy, we have great family and friends, you have a roof over your head, you may have an amazing job and career that you enjoy. All of that is a blessing.
Yeah.
But sometimes because we don't have someone special to share these things with, we kind of push them to the back like they're not as wonderful, and they are. So I wanted T to have a full life, so I can show that life is still amazing, and you should count your blessings and be grateful for what you do have. And I truly believe that if you're faithful, if you're prayerful, He's coming. It may not be right then, but He's coming.
Let me ask you this question, and my sons and I had this debate, I'll say conversation a few weeks ago about if there, because you hear a lot about there's a male shortage, and I don't buy into that because I believe the God that I serve, He deals in balance. So now whether He's here in Memphis, I don't know. He may be somewhere else, but I do believe that there is somebody for everybody if you want that. So I don't want women to feel like you got to share because there's 5 to 1. And you can make stats say whatever you want them to say. So I don't want people to give up at any cost, because I know a lady, one of my good friends, her mom just remarried at the age of 63. And her husband is 57. So I'm like, you go, girl. So I think, don't give up and think you got to settle because you're buying into this male shortage. And I just I cannot believe that God would allow that.
I don't think there is a male
imbalance.
shortage.
I don't either.
I don't know who started that. I mean, they're saying that the shortage is among eligible black men.
I don't believe it.
And no, I don't believe there is a shortage. Now, you may need to change zip codes to find the person that's right for you. Right for you. He may not be in this same city, but to say that all black men are in jail, uneducated,
I cannot
got 3 and 4 baby mamas, so you might as well give up. No. The devil's a lie.
That is a lie from the pit of hell. Do not believe that, because in my business, and I don't say that I'm lucky over it's because of what I do, but there are a lot of great men out there. There are a lot of great men out there. I'm serious, and of course not every guy is going to be the guy for me or the guy for you, but we shouldn't say there are no good men out there, because I'm telling you, you can bump into them if you just spend a little time, and sometimes, you look at them superficially, maybe their nails are not clean, maybe your nails are not clean, So don't judge somebody by how they're looking, because they could have just gotten off work, and you passing up, it was a movie that this lady was dating this mechanic, and he owned all these auto body shops, but she didn't want to date him because he was a mechanic, and then she hears about him marrying off to somebody else. So, you can throw that frog out if you want to, but I guarantee you he's somebody's prince.
That's back to those unrealistic expectations. Yes. I mean, you're going to look down on a man who's a mechanic. Last I checked, mechanics actually earn a pretty good living.
Big dollars.
So,
big dollars.
Because he gets a little dirty in his job, I don't think that's a reason for you to just totally look him over.
Right. And then men, just because she's working at the Holiday Inn and she's cleaning up rooms, that's not a reason to discount her. So I really think we should do some focus groups and just really get rid of all this superficial mumbo jumbo crap that is really keeping people from finding somebody to be with. And your book really talks about that too. Although T's baby, Mr. Righteous, was 6'4" and tall. that doesn't mean that every person at 6'4" and tall is going to be, somebody for you, because when God sends him, he may be 5'3". But you're going to overlook him because he doesn't come in the package that you wanted him to. You're going to throw him away. Well, I know there are about 100 ladies that throw him my way. So we got to get beyond all of that. And this book is really a starting point, because she really does lay it on the line. She really does want somebody that will love her and be truthful and honest and loves God. And he just so happened to came in the package that she wanted him to come in.
I really wanted to do a book that ladies could relate to, because we all at some point have those lonely moments.
Yeah.
We at some point we're waiting for that someone special to come along, and a lot of people are actually petitioning God for that someone special. So I mean, there are Bible verses in there. There are prayers, which a lot of people said they appreciated the prayers and her conversations with God about what she wanted. And she asked him not only to send her somebody special, but to show her herself. So if she doesn't have someone special because there are some things that she needs to work on, she wanted God to reveal that to her as well, because it's not just about him. You have to also look at yourself and see what you need to improve on and what you bring to the table. So that's what I wanted to do.
That's my sermon, because being a mother of sons, I want to make sure that they get as well as they give. So I want to make sure that we do look inside. Ladies, please look inward first to figure out, because you're the common denominator for every man that ever left, every man that ever dogged you out. And sometimes subconsciously, you know, there's a sign that says you can use me or you can do this to me. I don't know what signals we send that they pick up on, but they do. They do. So you attract the kind of person that you fear the most sometimes. But just look deep inside and prepare yourself for him. And people say, I want my Boaz. I'm like, girl, do you want to go through what she went through to get him? Are you willing to sleep at his feet? You know, she had to go through some stuff to get him. So just be willing to go through what she had to get a Boaz. So where can we find this book, and where can we find you?
Oh, well, you can always find me online. I have a women's motivational blog. Actually, it's a website that contains a blog. It's I'mAGoodWoman.com.
I love how you wrote that into here, too. That was creative.
Branding.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so.
But go to I'mAGoodWoman.com. You can learn more about the book. You can connect with me. You can purchase the book. And you can also read some stories about some other wonderful women who are making major moves, because my thing is to motivate and inspire women to be the best that they possibly can. And that's in every aspect of your life, not just your relationships, your career, emotionally, mentally, socially. I mean, life is short, and you should enjoy it to the fullest. And in doing that, make sure you make your dreams come true.
Wow, give her a hand for that. And before we close this segment out, I want to tell you, although we talk, and she and I are both, you know, single, but I'm happily single, and I'm married to a lot of stuff, so I'm not ready yet, and I know I'm not ready. But it's for any woman. We don't care what your status is, because married women can get a lot out of this book too, because we still have to look inward and become that beautiful woman that man is looking for.
I think this book is for anybody that just loves a good love story.
I think men will enjoy it too, because
it doesn't matter your marriage.
She's sharing some secrets in here, men, about us, so you might want to get it just so you can understand some of our languages and our idiosyncrasies. So, men, you will enjoy this book too, because you know you guys are romantic too, and it's a good place to start. And if you're not, this is a great place to start. You got to keep hope alive, Jay. Speak those things that are not in too.
I'm positive. I am extremely positive.
Now that she
when
is.
it comes to my brothers.
All right. Well, I'm telling you, I've enjoyed this.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
So now she has to audiograph it for me.
Oh, yes, I
do.
You
know what? And I want something special, so how, you know, wonderful I am and I'm the best. No, whatever you want. Everybody give it up for Jae Henderson. I always say, think positive, dream big dreams, help someone along the way, pray often, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.